Hello and welcome to Healy Fit with your instructor, Jen. Today I have a Pilates practice for you utilizing a block. It will help assist you with any neck strain or pain that you might typically feel during a Pilates workout. So you'll place the block kind of right below the head. Draw your chin kind of upward away from the neck. One hand above the belly button, one hand below, and you're going to try to thread the rib cage towards the hips, and then inhale, light lift into the chest. You want to keep that lower hand kind of down and in, and you can do that by engaging the pelvic floor. Feel free to adjust your headrest as needed, keeping the belly button drawn in towards your spine. And then just inhaling kind of into the top area, into the lungs, but maybe not so far down as the diaphragm. So more of a shallow breath than you would typically take in a yoga class. This is our Pilates breath. We keep the lower half of the abdominals tucked in and down, and then we lift and elongate kind of rib cage away from hips and then rib cage towards hips. Keep the head pressed lightly into the block. Fingertips are going to come back beside you, and we're just going to lift our feet up from the floor. From here, we're going to extend one leg out at a time. First, we go into that right leg, and then left leg extends out and down. So coming to about 45 degrees or below, your core stays locked in. Navel down towards spine, rib cage towards hips. Leg extends out, and we keep that core lock. So inhale as you extend, exhale as you draw the knee back in. Awesome. Keep going. Extend and draw back in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Awesome. Let's bring those knees all the way in. Tuck knees towards chest. Head is still back on that block. We're going to reach the arms overhead into your double leg stretch with bent knee. Hands tuck the knees in towards you, and then arms and legs extend out up overhead and towards the edge of the mat. Belly stays locked in, navel towards spine, still keeping that rib cage tucked in towards the hips a little bit. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, pull it in. Good. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw knees to chest. Reach, 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 reach. And pull, 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 pull. Beautiful job so far. We're just going to do a few more like that. Excellent. Let's take one leg up to the sky. Other leg extends, hands above or below the knee. Lower that left leg down, keep that right leg pulled in, and now let's switch. Right leg pulls to the mat. This is our single leg stretch with straight leg. So as one leg comes up, the other one drops towards the floor. Awesome. Now to keep length along the neck, you're going to keep your eye gaze up towards your toes, towards the toes that are lifted up towards the sky. Now our head is lifted but not strained, so we can still pull rib cage towards hips, get a little bit of that abdominal contraction as we switch leg to leg. Awesome, almost there. And let's go from our single to our double leg stretch with straight leg. Heel to heel together like steels. Zip up the backs, the upper inner thighs. Lock your core in, and then go ahead and lower both legs down together. And then lift both legs up to the sky. So you're just bringing your legs down until you almost feel like you have lost that control point. So pressing the low back into your mat. How low can you bring your legs and still keep your abdominal control? Still keep ribs pulled towards hips. Still keeping navel pulled towards spine. Still pressing your low back down towards the floor. And I always tell my people in my classes, If you are more posteriorly endowed, you are going to have a bit of a harder time keeping that low back down. So you're pushing it towards the floor, maybe not at the floor. Go ahead, move your block out to the side. And let's go ahead and bring our head to the floor, hands towards heels, heels up or heels down. We're going to drive through into our hip bridge. Go ahead, so drive through the heels, squeeze into the hamstrings and glutes, and then try to lift vertebra by vertebra up from the mat. Peel the upper hip, low back, mid back up to the shoulders, and then imprint shoulders down to hips. Good, so it's almost like a wave lifting up off the mat, bone by bone, and then imprinting back to the floor, bone by bone. Drive through the heels, light squeeze into the backs, the upper inner thighs, especially at the top of the movement. But we also want to keep pressure into the outer blades of the foot. Awesome. As you come down, go ahead, extend both legs all the way out. Let's bring that brick overhead, heels glued to the floor, squeeze the backs, the upper inner thighs, bring the brick up over the shoulders, pull your tummy in and back, look towards your toes, and then peel yourself up from the floor. Reach the brick out over the toes, and then slowly imprint bone by bone back down to the mat. As you come down, you can bring that brick overhead or bring it back towards the shoulder line. Peel yourself up from the floor, reach out towards your toes or beyond, and then slowly imprint back down. Now, as you come down, even as the brick comes up overhead, you're keeping that core lock. So again, internal compression using both your bottom and your top layer of the abs. So your transverse and your rectus abdominis working together to lift you and then slowly imprint you back down to the floor. Awesome. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then bring yourself back down with control. Let's do that again. Reach all the way out to the toes or beyond. And then come all the way back down. Good. Reach, 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 reach. And bring it all the way back down to the floor. Almost there. Bring it up, 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 up. Strong stretch. And then let's slowly move it onto one side. Now here, your brick is going to be your pillow. You can have it at the lowest or mid-level. Wrap your hand around the brick. Top hand is going to be in front of the belly, reminding you to pull your abs in and down. Heel to heel together. Slowly, we're going to lift that top leg up and then squeeze the top leg down towards the heel or behind the heel for a little bit more inner thigh or adduction work. Good. Leg lifts up towards the sky. Now think of your whole upper body as a concrete foundation. So we really want to stay immobile from crown all the way down to hips. Some of our Pilates practice is based on movement that emanates from a single area. So here we're just trying to lift up through the leg and then pull down through the leg. So the rest of the body is trying to stay as stable as we can make it as the leg lifts and lowers. Awesome. Let's go one more time. And then take that top leg, bend it, push, 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 push into your side kick passe. Leg comes up, heel folds in towards hip, and then we scrape along the bottom leg. Go ahead, side leg lift, flex, and extend. Go ahead, still keeping that concrete foundation in place. That top arm is right there reminding you to keep your abs engaged. So navel towards spine again. Awesome. Almost there. And now let's reverse. So now we're dragging that top leg down towards the bottom heel and then pulling in, extending up, and then straight leg all the way back down. So we bend the knee as we pull heel towards hip, extend the leg up to the sky, and then squeeze both heels in together. A few more times. Lift, extend, and then flex all the way back down, heel to heel. Okay, continue that full movement, heel, leg extends, and drag the leg back down, heel to heel. Awesome. Now let's go into some inner thigh leg lifts. Top leg is going to be behind the bottom leg. We're going to lift the leg up and down, heel towards the sky, light point into the toes. You might roll back a little bit onto the meatier part of the glutes, just so you take some of the pressure out of your hip bone. So if that's more comfortable for you, feel free to make that adjustment and then go right into those inner thigh leg lifts. Awesome. Now, leg stays lifted. Let's take that top leg and extend it out and then pull back down. Extend and pull in. A little bit more challenging with the head on the block. Just a few more. Extend and pull back in. Extend, pull back in. Good. Bottom leg like a statue. Steady in place. And relax. Awesome. Let's take it onto our bellies. Feet about mat distance apart. Brick kind of under the chest to remind you to pull all of that in and up. Hands under the chin stacked over one another. Let's flex one leg in at a time. Heel towards hip. Heel towards hip. Good. Now, whenever you are in this kind of backward bend position, where your chest is lifted kind of behind your hips, you want to make sure you pull your belly button in towards your spine. In yoga, we would call that a bandha or a bind. Same thing here. We want to make sure we have that abdominal lock to protect the low back in this light backward bend. Fold heel towards hip, navel towards spine, keeping the shoulders down, length along the outer edges of the neck. So the head is up, looking out over the front edge of the mat. Good. Let's go from our single leg kicks into double leg kicks. Flex in through the hamstrings. I want you to imagine you've got a pulley wrapped around each ankle and you're pulling a heavy weight in towards your glutes. So I want you to feel the backs of the thighs engage and a light squeeze into the glutes as you drag the heels in towards your hips. Awesome. Go ahead, push up and off your block. And let's shift to our other side. So as you come down to the other side, again, making that adjustment onto the lowest or mid-level of your brick. Bottom arm is behind or in front of your brick, head resting on top. Top hand in front of the abs, reminding you to pull everything in and back. Back of the body lined up along the back edge of the mat. Heels are lined up towards the front edge of the mat. Top leg, we start with those leg extensions up and pull, pull, pull all the way down. Good. Leg lifts and extends. And then we use the inner thigh, the adductor, so pull the heel down towards the floor. Get as much length and extension as you can. So what this does, the more length and extension you can get into the muscle, the more muscle you are going to use to drag that leg back down towards the floor. Good. So imagine you have that pulley is kind of behind the head, and now you're dragging the leg down using the weight of the pulley as counterbalance. So the leg lifts up quite easily, light as a feather, and then as we drag the heel back down, it is stiff and controlled all the way to the floor. Good. Now let's go into our side kick passe. Leg comes up to the sky, heel folds in towards the hip, and then we extend the leg all the way out, heel to heel. Leg lifts, we drag in and extend. Up, fold, and lengthen. Fantastic. Keep going up, up, up. Fold and extend. Let's bring it in reverse. Fold in, extend up, and then straight leg all the way down, heel to heel. Fold in, extend up, and then drag that pulley back down, heel to heel. Good. So the weight is in that top leg, pulling to the bottom leg. Good. Really use your inner thighs to move your top leg back down from that extended position. Good. Fold in, extend up, and squeeze. Starting to feel those inner thighs, outer thighs. Core control. May start feeling this into the outer obliques as well. Awesome. Let's go into those inner thigh leg lifts. Top leg extends behind the bottom leg. Bottom leg lifts up, toes pointed just lightly. You can readjust that block if needed. And just a few more leg lifts up and down. Awesome. Let's take that top leg, extend it out towards the bottom leg. So again, holding that bottom leg into that statuesque extension all the way out, and then just kicking your top leg out and in. Awesome. Both legs extended all the way out. Let's go ahead and roll onto our backs again. Head resting onto your block. Legs extended all the way out. Arms up overhead, legs out below. Give yourself a nice big stretch from your fingertips all the way down to your toes. Now let's go ahead and add some twist and rotation. We're going to take one knee in, reach across, and then release that leg back down. Other leg comes in, reach across. Now head is still resting onto the block. If you wanted to lift it up at this point, of course you could. Diving into those obliques, kind of lifting shoulders up, folding rib cage towards hips, exhaling across, inhaling on the way down. So as you exhale across, I want you to imagine that you're wringing out a towel. So exhale, fold the rib cage towards the hips. Exhale, kind of twist along those abdominals, really working into those obliques. Fantastic. Keep going. Reach across and release. Now let's wrap our hands around that knee. Pull it in towards you. You stretch into your lower back. Circle through the knee. Go ahead, twisting the knee around to your level of comfort. Bring it around the other way. Just checking in with the hip. And then release that leg all the way back down to the floor. Let's do the same on the other side. Tuck the knee in. And then slowly twist it around. And other way. Awesome. From the knee folded, let's extend the leg all the way up. Hands wrap around again above or below the knee. We're going to do that same twist, and we're going to reach the hand up and across. So lift shoulder kind of as much up from the floor as you can. So doing our crisscross with straight leg. Again, you can lift the head up from the block if you like, but if you want that lesser neck pain or strain, Go ahead, keep your head down to the block. Still wringing out our towel, so every time we exhale, we reach up towards those toes and wring out our abdominals. Navel towards spine, rib cage towards hips. Go ahead, getting full length and extension. So remember, this is your stretch. Pull that leg all the way in and circle through the ankle. Awesome. Flex and point a few times as you bring that leg in. Feel the stretch along the hamstring, into the glute, into the low back. Awesome. Let's switch sides. Extend the other leg all the way up. Little circles through the ankle. Other direction. And then flex and point a few times. Release the leg all the way down to the floor again, into that big stretch. Hands overhead, feet out below. Go ahead, remove the brick from behind the head. Flex your heels in towards your hips. Peel yourself up. Nice and slow. Reach all the way out. Brick onto your shins or maybe behind your heels. Reach forward. Lengthen into those hamstrings. Try to unfold the backs of the knees, releasing them down towards the mat. Stretch into the low back, the hips, the glutes. Spread your shoulders across your back. Lengthen and extend. Got our home stretch, intermingling stretch with our strength. We made it. Thank you so much. Have an amazing rest of your day.